Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is episode 22 from the Procreate Basic series, and today is the last part of the layers tutorial in this series. There's only 2 more episodes left and I'm sure that you guys have learned a lot so far. So today I will be sharing with you 5 layer setup that I use for my portrait painting in Procreate. And if you find that any of these layer setup is suitable for you, you can just use them. So before we begin, remember to subscribe, comment and like. And now let's start. So today I'm going to share with you like 5 layers setup for doing portraits. So this is the type of layer setup that you can use when you're doing portraits. You can pick any one that is suitable for you. So the first one we want to talk about is the sketch centric layer setup. So the first thing I will have is the first sketch, which is a rough sketch on the canvas. Then after that I will have another layer on top of it that is my complete line work. So once my complete line work is done, I would then hide the first sketch layer and then I'll create a new layer below it and apply the color to it. Then after I apply the color to it, I will do the effects on another layer. The effects will usually be done above the line work layer so that it can create all the effects that I want, and I can apply the blending mode if I want to. Like for example, this layer right here has hard light on it and is applied to the cup. And then also I have another layer for effects. So it's a very simple setup here where it's just effects and then my line work and then my base color here. So this is the first layer setup that you can use. So the second layer setup that you can consider is called object-centric layer setup. So basically you are just creating the artwork based on objects. So the first objects that I have here is the clothes, and then I have the left object, and then I have the portrait, and then I have the wave, the right object, and then the hair ornaments. So usually this is more suitable for illustration that are very complicated and you want to separate all the layers according to objects. And then of course within each object you can have a group of the layers that you want to have while you're working on it, and when you're done you can merge them into layers like this. So this is all sorted according to objects. The next layer setup that we want to look at is the light-centric layer setup. So the light-centric layer setup is kind of different. Usually I will have a sketch first. So this sketch is done using just one color, which is this color here. And if you see the lighter color here, this is actually not this color. It is still this color but painted lightly so that it's transparent and have the effect of this color when it is placed over white. So if I change this to red, you can see that here is already like becoming more red because this layer was actually transparent. So if you can work in a transparent manner like this, then this layer setup can be useful for you. So after I have my sketch ready, I'll usually color the sketch first. So when I color my sketch, I'll have something like this. So I basically just color the sketch and then I will drop my base color in. So let me show you my base color. So this is just my base color and the sketch is riding on top of it and creating all the values that I need for this portrait. Then above this layer, I will have all the layers that is introducing light to the scene. So now all the light that is in the scene is being controlled by this sketch layer because it is a value sketch and it already has very transparent sketch over this part here, and it creates the illusion of light. So on top of it I'll have even more lights, and this is a layer where I put my highlights on. So this is another light layer and another layer to add even more light and effects. So this is considered a light-centric setup because you're introducing more and more light with each layer. The next layer setup that we want to talk about is the color-centric layer setup. So for the color-centric layer setup, I'll usually have a sketch first like this. And once I have a sketch, I will do a grayscale. So once the grayscale is done, I'm ready to put in my colors. I'll usually turn off the sketch layer and I'll drop in my colors like this. I will usually use my easy skin tone palette to drop in the colors. And then to apply the colors, I'll change this to color. So now I have like a base color here going on. Then after that, I will merge this layer down and this will become one layer. I'll continue working on it until I have something like this. So this is a color-centric layer setup using blending modes in order to introduce color to your portrait. If you are more of a grayscale kind of person, then you can do this layer setup and help you with your portrait painting. The last setup that we're gonna explore today is the gradient map setup, which is kind of new because this just came out in Procreate. So the first thing you need is a grayscale layer where you completed your painting already, and then after that I'm gonna duplicate this layer. So let's go into the gradient map, and then I'm gonna pick something that is similar to skin tone, and I'm gonna tap on it to adjust it. So I want the hair to be blue, so let's pick blue color and adjust the gradient map this way. So now we can see that it is slowly coloring the painting itself, and now I have like a good base to work on already. So now I'm going to continue working on this gradient map by duplicating it, and then I can switch to my saturation brush and get my palettes ready and continue coloring the painting without disturbing the values. So I'm just finishing the hair here. And then of course for the reds, I will use my easy skin tone palette and introduce the reds into the portrait. So this is a quick and easy way for you to quickly color your portrait without thinking much about what's going on. You can download all these color palettes from my website. And then for the eyes, I usually just paint it gray, drop in the same blue for the eyes, get some reds going on in the eyes. And you can see how close this is to being done already. And if you like it at any time, you can just stop working and call this done. So once you're happy with it, you can stop and then just look at it from different angle and see what you can do to improve the painting, or just accept it as it is. So these are 5 layer setup that you can use for Procreate that are really useful and quick for you to quickly set up a portrait anytime.
Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow is episode 23 and I hope to see you tomorrow because we'll be learning all about special brushes where we load blending modes into special brushes. So I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Bye!